Hello and thank you for being at the rendezvous of this 6 hours of Spa decoding, opening round of the super season 2018-2019. 1-2 for Toyota, first endurance race and first victory for Fernando Alonso with his new inseparable teammates Sébastien Buemi and Kazuki Nakajima. Sunny weather for these 6 hours of Spa-Francorchamps 2018 for all the competitors. Two imperatives. First, to achieve, of course, the best possible performance in the race, and then to start scoring the first precious points. And of course, the second, to take advantage of the circuit of Spa-Francorchamps in order to be prepared for the 24 hours of Le Mans in the best possible way. This is the opinion of some of the major players in endurance that we met.
Spa est le meilleur endroit possible pour préparer Le Mans parce que même si les lignes droites sont plus courtes, même s'il y en a moins, c'est le circuit dans la saison qui se rapproche le plus. Donc on en profite ici pour rouler la même carrosserie qu'au Mans, même si ce n'est pas idéal, c'est l'endroit où on peut se permettre cela pour que les pilotes s'habituent au niveau d'appui aérodynamique qu'on utilise au Mans. Ils se familiarisent avec ce niveau d'appui ici, ils apprennent à gérer les blocages de roues, c'est un petit peu plus compliqué quand il y a moins d'appui, il y a moins de grippe au niveau des pneumatiques. Donc tout ça, on leur permet de se familiariser avec ce qui va se passer au Mans dans le cadre de ce circuit de Spa qui l'autorise.
I've always liked Spa in terms of it's a great test track and you can learn stuff here, but obviously Le Mans is very unique, you know, with long straights and heavy cambers. Some bumps and things, so it's quite unique in a lot of ways, but for sure you can learn stuff here, and in terms of setup you can see where you are compared to your competition.
C'est vraiment la dernière répétition en conditions de course avec les mêmes règles qu'on aura au Mans, et voilà, ça permet à l'équipe de faire une répétition générale, que ce soit au niveau des pit stops, au niveau des réglages de la voiture, les pilotes pour le trafic, on apprend quelles voitures sont plus ou moins dangereuses, quelles sont les plus faciles à dépasser.
That is the first and the biggest step towards Le Mans preparation, and we'll put everything in from obviously BMW side, the team, the drivers, everybody, and hopefully have a good weekend here. The aero package is slightly different, but obviously you learn with every kilometer you do with the car, and for us being a new car, obviously every session, every run is important, and at the end of the day, even if it's a slightly different aero package, we still learn a lot with every kilometer we do here in Spa.
For the drivers, to be successful on a circuit passes by a track walk, as we are doing at the moment. We followed some of them on the circuit of Spa. It's true that the Spa racetrack presents real similarities with the 24 hours of Le Mans circuit.
C'est vraiment un moment super important pour bien aborder un week-end de course. En fait, ça permet d'échanger entre les pilotes et puis les ingénieurs sur les différents points particuliers comme le freinage, des portions très rapides qui sont super intéressantes pour travailler aussi le circuit des 24 heures du Mans, parce qu'on retrouve aussi des portions très rapides comme les virages Porsche par exemple.
It's very similar in the way there's a lot of high-speed corners. So when it comes to high-speed corners, there's a lot of risk as well. And when there's a lot of risk, the guys need to know what they're doing. So, you know, it's always good to have a sight, to get to know everything, to look at where there's maybe little curbs and maybe little bumps in the road. Well, of course, it's always different walking the track and seeing it in person rather than driving, because at 200, 300 kilometers per hour, you really can't tell the fine little details of where the bumps are, where everything is, and what's actually happening. So when you take a walk around, you get to know the place a lot better.
Je l'ai jamais vraiment fait en GTO pour l'instant, donc il va y avoir beaucoup de choses qui vont changer, que ce soit des points de freinage, des points de braquage ou réaccélérer et tout ça. C'est pour ça que je l'ai fait avec mes coéquipiers qui connaissent déjà beaucoup mieux la voiture que moi. Donc voilà, ça me permet déjà de prendre quelques points de repère pour le début du meeting.
$63,000 spectators have attended the 6 hours of Spa-Francorchamps 2018. Well, together, let's watch the highlight of the race.
A sparkling start to the FIA World Endurance Championship Super Season, overseen by FIA President Jean Todt and Gerard Neveu, the architect of the championship. Beautiful sunny conditions, a packed grid and packed grandstands. The number 8 Toyota starting from pole position, immediately under pressure from LMP1 rivals, from Rebellion, from SMP. Into the first corner though, the Toyota held a narrow lead that it was never to relinquish. Running out wide, Harry Tingle in the 67 Ford, one of the front runners in GTE Pro. Tangle between the Ferrari trio in GTE Am on the first lap cost the Gulf Racing car a chance of success. Safety car was out for them to be rescued for the first time after one lap. At the end of the opening lap, the delayed number 7 Toyota was allowed to join the race from the pit lane. It came a lap behind into the fray. At the head of the GTE Am battle, the 77 Dempsey Proton Porsche finally lost out to the 98. And then the second safety car came out as Harry Tincknell crashed heavily at Eau Rouge. He is okay, but there was clean-up operations. At the restart, the number 7 Toyota carving its way through the field. By this stage, Fernando Alonso was in his first stint in the number 8 car in the lead. 7 eager to get back onto the lead lap to unlap itself on the sister car. Alonso equally eager not to let him have it easily. G-Drive leading from the early days in the LMP2 class after Racing Team Netherlands had raced to the front and then suffered an electrical issue. Problems also for the number 1 Rebellion car, dropping them out of third. Unsafe release for the 51 Ferrari cost it a chance of the podium in the GTE Pro class. Broken front suspension took a few laps to replace. Matevos Issakian battling for third place with the Rebellion. Got held up by a Porsche in Eau Rouge. The Rebellion breezed by into a podium spot. And then, a couple of laps later, Issakian was in the news again. The third safety car, this time from monster shunt for the Russian in the SMP Racing Dallara prototype at Réunion. He also walked away unscathed. And then maybe the move of the race, Ford versus Porsche for a spot at the top of the podium in the GTE Pro class, wheel to wheel in Eau Rouge. Thank you so much. Porsche's then swapping position in the last hour in the GTE Pro class, and the final ignominy for Richard Lietz, who'd started his last stints in the lead but had no tyres left to fight. Davide Rigon jumped him on the final lap. Last lap sort out never came for TF Sport. They chased the 98 Aston Martin to the Am Class 1-2 for Aston. Ford won in GTE Pro. G-Drive ran away with LMP2. And the number 8 Toyota, Fernando Alonso, winning on his debut. His first win at Spa-Francorchamps since he was in Formula 3000. It was a Toyota 1-2 to start the super season with a total 6 hours of Spa-Francorchamps.
Well, it makes no doubt that there is an effect of phenomenon Fernando Alonso. First endurance race, first victory. Here are the impressions of the double Formula 1 world champion.
Well, I think definitely this is a warm-up for Le Mans, you know. This is a preparation, this is like a test, but with points at the end of the checkered flag. But definitely we wanted to test ourselves in a proper race conditions with other teams, with the drivers into stress, the mechanics into stress, everyone, you know, in racing conditions, and we delivered 1-2. So I think we are ready for Le Mans. Definitely the race is a lot tougher, 24 hours. A lot of issues may appear in the 24-hour, but we are as prepared as possible. So I think we will go with confidence into the race. It's challenging for the preparation, for the focus, for the concentration, all the race long. You need to stay always, you know, at the top of your game, and definitely I think you know, the traffic management and you know, the race itself, how it develops and how quickly it changes with the safety cars and things like that. You need to be ready for anything. So it's a good test and ready for Le Mans.
A 1-2 doublé for Toyota at the finish of the opening round of the FIA WEC, and behind the two Toyota, the two Rebellion. At least we thought the number one with André Lotterer, Nijani and Bruno Senna was disqualified after the post-race scrutineering of the skid block, which did not comply with the technical regulation. Result, the third position is for the sister car, number 3, with Matthias Bech, Gustavo Menezes and Frenchman Thomas Laurent. This is now the reaction of Brazilian man Bruno Senna before the disqualification of his car.
It's been a challenging weekend. I think we knew it was going to be very difficult. Finally, we're so happy that we finished with both cars, and the cars did perform pretty well considering how few days we had for developing it. So yeah, it's a positive day, but so much to improve, so much to learn, and from here we have to get our stuff together for Le Mans.
The next rendezvous is Le Mans. How do you see the situation for you?
It's tricky, because second race being straight to a 24-hour race, it's a big task. I think everything will be really on the limit, but you know, it's Le Mans, anything can happen, as we saw in the previous few years, and hopefully we can keep our noses clean and get a good result.
Thank you, Bruno. The P2 class now, a victory for Noreca Chassis with G-Drive, a team which was at Spa to prepare the 24 Heures du Mans in the best possible way. Its program number 1 remains the European Le Mans Series. The drivers line up: Jean-Éric Vergne, Andrea Pizzitola and the headman Roman Rusinov. His reaction after the race.
Yeah, you know, it's a great track and always pleasure to come here. It's our third victory in 4 years here, and really cool, and we have a really good car, we have a good team. I'm happy to be with Andrea Pizzitola and I'm happy to be with Jean-Éric Vergne. I think both of them did a fantastic job. Yeah, you know, it's important to prepare Le Mans this way, and we have Monza already next week, so the car will go from here straight away to Monza. Yeah, in the end of the day, we all aim to have a good race in Le Mans, and I think this is one part of the preparation, so it's good to win.
How are you going to prepare this race from a mental aspect, from a mechanical, technical aspect? Is there any specific program?
For mental, I think I just forget that it's Le Mans because it's so complicated. It's 3 weeks in the end of the day. It's 300,000 people coming, so you just need to focus on it and forget that, yeah, because it's so complicated, it's so long, you never know what's going to happen. You just try to do it in the best ways possible.
Now the GT category Spa coincided with the first appearance in the race of the new Aston Martin and of course the very first appearance of the MH BMW. Well, the race suffered just a thrilling battle between Porsche and Ford, and at the end of the 6 hour, advantage for the American team with the Ford GT of Stéphane Muqueux, Olivier Palat and Billy Johnson. Billy, really satisfied?
Absolutely, you can't ask for more to start off the season with a victory here at Spa, and it's been a long road for Car 66, who hasn't won a race over the 3 years that Ford has competed in the WEC Championships. So it's nice to get that monkey off our back, and it's great to be an American racing in the WEC and to win the season opener, especially at a historic, fantastic racetrack like Spa, is wonderful.
So the top 3 for the GT Pro class, a victory for Ford just ahead of Porsche and Ferrari, and the 4th position for Gian-Maria Bruni and Richard Litz. Gian-Maria Bruni tells us about his weekend in Belgium with Porsche.
First of all, I'm very happy to be back in the WC, and it was a very nice race, very hard battle since turn 1. I tried to have a hard life to Ford. We were able until 40 minutes to go, and after again a safety car, very strange for this championship. We couldn't expect. We make a big gap, try to survive at the end with all tires, but the safety car just cut all the advantage. Then we made in the middle part of the race, and Richie was with all tires at the end. We couldn't do anything, and we were all packed, and the others are all fresh tires and new tires, so we lost the win, but it's part of racing. and it's good for Porsche. I mean, because I think we are leading in the manufacturing, and so it's good.
What about now the GTM class? Well, a fantastic race too. A 1-2 for Aston Martin. At the finish line, Pedro Lamy for Aston Martin Racing could beat Johan Allers-Anke of only 221,000. Toyota, J-Drive, Ford, Aston Martin, and to those teams who knew the flavor of victory at Spa, we'd like to add a fifth winner, the public. The fans, thanks to a fantastic race. We'd like to complete this decoding by asking the ACO president, Pierre Fillon, to give us his global opinion about the event. President Pierre Fillon.
I think it was a very good event. Beautiful weather, a big crowd today. All the fans were here, and we have a big fight in LMP2. In GT Pro, you will see 3 brands at the third place. At the third place, we have Ford, we have Porsche, and Ferrari. In GTM, we have our friend Paul Dallana won, and in LMP1, for sure, Toyota won, but we saw LMP1 hybrid, non-hybrid, for very good preparation before Le Mans.
Here we are with the checkout flag for this decoding special 6 hours of Spa-Francorchamps opening round of the Super Season 2018-2019. I would like to wish a quick recovery to Pietro Fittipaldi, injured during the test with the BR Engineering entered by Team Dragon Speed. Next appointment, of course, the 24 Heures du Mans, the 16th and 17th of June, and before that, the test day, Sunday 3rd of June. We'll have, of course, the opportunity to meet you all, but before that, read all the latest news of the 24 Heures du Mans on lemans.org and, of course, on our social networks. Thank you for following us. It's a great postcard behind me, don't you think so? Stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Thank you.